Welcome to this week's edition of the PTCI Roadshow from Mustang Field at Pioneer High School. We're here for another crucial District B1 showdown. Turpin enters tonight's contest 8-1 and ranked 5th in the state. The Cardinals are tied for first place in the district, and with a win will ensure that they get to host a first-round playoff game. Pioneer enters the game finding out after last night's loss by Wacomas that they are in the playoffs, but could be hosting a playoff game as well if they win tonight. But if they lose, they'll fall down to the 4th position. So, as we enter the contest tonight, it's a big game for both teams in this hyper-competitive district. So let's get ready to kick off another great night of high school football. Referee giving instructions to the Pioneer kickoff team. Pioneer enters this game with a 6-3 overall record, 6-2 record in district play. Number 2, Bucko Gray will be handling the kicking duties for Pioneer. And here's the opening kickoff. It's high and short and caught at about the 41-yard line by Brad Alba for the Cardinals, and the offense will come out first for the Cardinals. Starting it on offense at guard, a 6-foot, 255-pound sophomore, number 55, Juan Dominguez. At center, a 5'11", 200-pound junior, number 32, Saul Melcher. And at guard, a 6'2", 230-pound senior, number 54, Arnold Ortiz. We'll get back to the rest of the starting lineup as the Cardinals are already at the line. Quarterback under center, man in motion across the field, turn, hand off to tailback George Dominguez, who dives past the 45-yard line. And they'll mark him down right at the 45, so it's about a 4-yard gain on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Cardinals. That was quarterback Matt Young under center. Under center again, hands off to Dominguez. Doesn't get much, only got about a yard on the play, so it's going to be third down and about 4 yards to go. George Dominguez is the running back, wearing number 34. He's a 5'9", 220-pound senior. Back under center, Young. And we've got one of the offensive linemen move for the Cardinals. And so they're going to back up 5 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and long, about 3rd and 9 from the 41-yard line. Cardinals' other starters at tight end, a 5'10", 210-pound senior, number 44, Kenny Holmes. At wide receiver, a 5'10", 160-pound senior, number 6, Jordan Lujan. At flanker, a 5'10", 180-pound junior, number 12, Derek Dusmatier. And as I mentioned, number 22, Matt Young at quarterback. He's a 5'11", 180-pound senior. Shotgun formation, 2 splits to the right. Young looks, quick throw, and tries to hit number 15, Alex Jimenez, but it falls incomplete. So it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Cardinals. And looks like they'll line up in punt formation. Matt Young back handling the kicking duties for the Cardinals. There's the snap and gets off the kick. It's a high booming kick, and it's going to hit at about the 10 and falls dead inside the 10-yard line. So Pioneer will start at about the 9-yard line. Their first possession with 10:46 still left in the first quarter, and the score 0-0. Defensive starters for the Cardinals, at defensive end, a 5'10", 210-pound senior, number 44, Kenny Holmes. At nose tackle, a 5'11", 200-pound junior, number 32, Saul Melcher. Pioneer at the line, quarterback under center, I formation. Fakes the handoff, drops back to pass, can't find anybody. He's going to take off to the right to run, and he's going to be brought down quickly after about a yard or two gain Saul Melcher on the tackle, along with Alex Jimenez. Also starting for the Cardinals at defensive end, number 54, Arnold Ortiz. At linebacker, number 34, George Dominguez. At linebacker, number 12, Derek Dusmatier. And also at linebacker, number 15, Alex Jimenez. Back under center, tight-eye formation. Turn, handoff to the tailback to the right. He finds an opening. He's down the sideline, past the 35, and finally brought out of bounds by Kenny Holmes at about the 38-yard line. So it's going to be a first down for the Mustangs. Also starting for the Cardinals on defense, at defensive back, number 6, Jordan Lujan, and a 5'10", 150-pound senior, number 7, Brad Alba. Tight-eye formation again for Pioneer. Turn, handoff to the tailback to the left. Breaks through, and he's up past the 45-yard line. Good first down gain. And they'll mark him right at the 45-yard line. So it'll be second down at about 4 yards to go. Pioneer breaks the huddle. They're back at the line. Quarterback under center. I formation again. Turn, hand to the tailback right up the middle. And he's going to be... Oh, ball is loose. Grabbed by George Dominguez. He breaks a tackle. He's breaking through another tackle and finally brought down inside the 20-yard line. And it's going to be a first down for the Cardinals deep in Pioneer territory at the 19-yard line. Kind of went into a scrum right up the middle. Ball was locked loose. And Dominguez came right out with it. And being a running back, he knew what to do with it. Broke through the first tackle and carried the second tackler quite a ways. 9:22 still left in the first quarter. Cardinals already in the red zone. Dusmatier in motion. Young turns, pitches to Dominguez to the right, and he didn't get much, maybe a yard or two. Going to be brought down at the 18, so it's going to be second down and 9. No gain on the play, brings up second down and 10. Cardinals already back at the line. 2 splits to the right of the formation. Players getting the play signals from the sideline. Young back under center. Dusmatier in motion. Young's going to keep it right back up the middle, a little bit to the right. And he's up to about the 10-yard line, though it looks like they'll mark him down at about the 11. So it's going to be third down. Third down and about 3 yards to go for the Cardinals. Pioneer tries to get a sub on the field as the Cardinals are trying to get a play in. Cardinals are head coached by Justin Hanna in his 3rd season. Back under center, 2 backs in the backfield. Turn, handoff to Dominguez, and he breaks loose and he's brought down at about the 4-yard line. So it's going to be a first and goal for the Cardinals. Cardinals back at the line already, getting the signal from the sideline. Young back under center. Dusmatier at halfback. Young's going to keep it, goes to the right, but he's quickly wrapped up. Looks like he might have gained a little bit, maybe half a yard on the play. So it's going to be second and goal from there. Clock rolls under 8 minutes to play, still in the first quarter. Cardinals bring in another lineman. Number 52, Isai Laura Jr. I formation. Kenny Holmes, the tight end, has moved to fullback. Young turns, hands off to Dominguez, and he's in for the touchdown. Just lined up in a tight I formation and slammed it through for the touchdown. Cardinals line up in that same tight formation. I mentioned Isai Laura. They also have number 16, Cesar Castillo in. And he'll turn pitch to Dominguez to the left, and he walks into the end zone. There is a flag on the play. We may have a holding call here. We'll have to see what the call is. And it is holding on the offense, on the Cardinals. So they'll have to retry that play from a little further back for the 2-point conversion. Cardinals take out their jumbo package and bring back their regular offense. And so they'll try it again, this time from the 12-yard line, a little bit tougher play to make. Cardinals will line up with Deuce Matera and Lujan split to the left of the formation. Play clock is already under 10. Cardinals were still getting the call. They're in the pistol formation. Play clock at 2. And they got the snap off just in time. Looks to his left, throws over the middle, and it's caught! The 2-point conversion is good. That was number 6, Jordan Lujan with the catch. So with 7:24 still left in the first quarter, it's Turpin 8, Pioneer 0. Pioneer sets to receive the kick. Back deep, number 2, Bucko Gray.
They're also raffling off Mustang yard signs tonight. The Afterplum will be selling their 50-50 chances this evening as well.
Also number 13 back there, but I don't have it on the roster. Doesn't mention. Okay, it's Christopher Fawfaw is also back there. Jordan Lujan, who just scored the 2-point conversion, handles the kicking duties. High kick, end over end. Caught it at about the 10-yard line. Brought up past the 25, past the 35, past the 40, past the 45 where he steps out of bounds. So Pioneer will start this drive at the 46-yard line. Very good field position.
46-yard line. Will be first down and 10.
Pioneer back at the line. Same formation, tight eye. He'll turn, hand off to the tailback to the left. Gets out to the sideline. He's going to be knocked out of bounds in Cardinal territory at about the 46-yard line. So a nice first down gain. We'll leave him about, and they're going to mark him right at the 45. Ball is just barely on the far side of the 45. So it'll be second down and about a yard to go. Back under center, turn, hand to the tailback to the right again, and he busts through, and he's inside the 35-yard line, brought down by Brad Albert about the 32. Pioneer already threatening to score and try to tie this game up. Cardinals leading 8-0. Clock rolls under 7 minutes left to play in the first quarter. There's the snap. Handoff again to the tailback to the right. But he's going to be brought down by Alex Jimenez, but he fumbled the ball. And they're going to say it rolled out of bounds. And it's going to be a loss of about a yard on the play. So it'll be second down and 11 for the Mustangs. The second time he's dropped the ball earlier, set up that first score of the game. When George Dominguez picked up the fumble and returned it inside the 20-yard line, gave the Cardinals a short field on their second drive of the game. Tight-eye formation again. There's the snap. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left, throws just out of the hands of his, just out of the outstretched arm of his tight end there. He was open, but just missed him, so it's going to be third and 11 yards to go for the Mustangs. Pioneer breaks the huddle. They're back at the line. Again, it's 3rd and 11 yards. This time they'll be in the shotgun with a back to each side. High snap, and the play is called dead beforehand. Flag. And it's going to be a false start on Pioneer. So a 3rd and 11 now turns into a 3rd and 16. So even tougher position for the Mustangs, who were moving the ball quite well on the first few plays of this drive. Mustangs, one of the few teams you'll see huddling up again now these days. Most teams that come to the line get their signals and they're at it quickly, much like Turpin is. They'll come back to the line, shotgun formation. They're tight, but a back to each side. There's a snap, fakes the handoff. They run the option to the left. Quarterback keeps it, and he's going to be brought down at about the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 4th down there. About the 32-yard line, between the 32 and 33-yard line. So it'll be 4th and 9 yards to go. Pioneer will most likely go for it here, since they are in Cardinal territory. And they'll line up with 2 splits to each side. Shotgun formation. This is something we haven't seen yet. Quarterback decides to keep it on the draw, and he's stuffed right away. Number 32, Saul Melcher, was there. Also, several other Cardinals in on the tackle. Also, George Dominguez in there, and number 64, Juan Dominguez also. So the Cardinals take back over with 5:29 left in the first quarter. They'll take back over with the ball just outside of their own 35-yard line. They'll line up with 2 splits to the right of the formation. Young under center. He'll take the snap, handoff, fakes the handoff, and keeps it. And he's going to be brought down for a loss. He's out of a loss of a yard, so it's going to be 2nd down and 11 for the Cardinals. Didn't fool anybody with that play. They'll line up with a split to the right and a flanker to the right also. Young back under center with Dominguez behind him. And Young's going to keep it, go straight up the field. Didn't get much. He got past the 35, about a 2-yard gain. So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Cardinals. Cardinals will line up. They'll move their receivers around. They'll line up with 2 splits to the left of the formation. Young in the pistol with Dominguez to his right. Dominguez goes in motion to his right. Drops back. Young drops back to pack. Throws one over the middle. He's looking for Moat and just out of the reach of his hands. Had good coverage there. Had a back running, defensive back running with him, and a safety over the top. So it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Cardinals. And it looks like they're going to have to punt for the 2nd time already. It's been a while since the Cardinals have had to punt twice this early in a ball game. Offense has been pretty high scoring all year long, even in this tough district. Young back to punt again. There's the snap and the kick, and got off another good high kick. And it bounces inside the 20, rolls down inside the 10-yard line. His 2nd kick that falls dead inside the 10-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Pioneer, right just inside their own 10-yard line with 4:04 still left in the first quarter. Turpin leads 8-0. 2 great punts by Young, putting Pioneer back deep in their own territory. Oh, Pioneer in a tight formation. Quarterback back in the shotgun. He's going to run out to the right, breaks through one tackle. Dominguez has a hold of him, won't let him go any further. And 2 flags thrown on the play. And they call a dead ball personal foul on the Cardinals. That may have been on Dominguez on that tackle. It was a hard tackle to the ground. Didn't realize that the didn't seem like the whistle had blown too far ahead of that tackle. So it'll be 1st and 10. That moves the Mustangs outside the 30-yard line. They'll face a 1st and 10 there. Quarterback in the shotgun. He's going to keep it. Goes to the left, and he's up past the 35-yard line. Brought down right there. Arnold Ortiz with the tackle. So it'll be 2nd down and about 6 yards to go as they mark him at about the 36-yard line. 3 minutes still left in the first quarter. Turpin leads Pioneer 8-0. Tight I formation. Turn, hand to the tailback to the right. And even though he's met at the line, he does manage to fall forward past the 40-yard line. And so it'll be 3rd and short, about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards to go. Pioneer will line up in that tight I formation again. There's a turn, hand to the tailback again right up the middle. He bounces off the initial hit, running into one of his own linemen, and goes to the right a little bit, and he's able to get the 1st down. And so it'll be 1st down for the Mustangs at about the 43-yard line. Pioneer back at the line. There's a snap, fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeps her, breaks through a tackle, and Brad Alba brings him down at about the 48-yard line. Saul Melcher broke through, couldn't quite get a hold of him. The quarterback made a nice cut there and was able to keep going forward. So it'll be 2nd down and about 4 yards to go. Pioneers had the ball for the majority of the quarter, even though they trail 8-0. Here's a turn, hand to the tailback to the left this time as he fights forward, close to the 1st down. Looks like he's going to be marked about 1 yard short.
Brought down on the play by number 34.
George Dominguez with the tackle there.
Will advance the ball into Cardinal territory. The 48-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down.
So it'll be 3rd down at about 2 yards as he was marked. Didn't quite make as far as it initially looked. They marked him back further. Just inside Cardinal territory, about the 48-yard line. A minute left in the first quarter. Turpin leading 8-0. I formation. Quarterback's going to keep it to the right, and he's got the 1st down easily as he's brought down at about the 44, 43-yard line in Turpin territory. So reset the chains. 1st and 10. Back at the line, quarterback in the shotgun, 2 backs in the backfield. He'll keep it straight up the middle, goes a little bit left, tried to leap over a tackle, it looked like, was grabbed by the ankle after a short gain. And looks like they'll mark him down just inside the 40-yard line. That's a gain of about 3 yards to go, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Pioneer lines up with a split to each side, two backs, handoff in the shotgun, and he falls forward to about the 38-yard line.
Number 12 ball to the ball carrier, brought down by number 34, George Dominguez. Gain of 2 on the play.
And that's the end of the first quarter with the Turpin Cardinals 8, Pioneer Mustangs 0.
Pioneer 0. Once again, I'd like to remind everyone that the after-prom parents are selling 50-50 chances through the end of the second quarter.
And we'll get ready to start the second quarter. Pioneer breaks the huddle. They'll come in line. It is third down and about 6 yards to go from the 38-yard line. Tie-dye formation. And it looks like they may have gotten the Cardinals to jump on this play and get a free 5. Yes, it is. So that'll make it third and short. About 2 yards to go. Really just more like 1 yard to go on that.
Third down and 1.
Pioneer back at the line. Quarterback quickly under center. Turn, hand off to the tailback to the left. Deuce Mateer has a hold of him, but he did get the first down as he's brought down just inside the 30-yard line. So it'll be another first down for the Mustangs there at the 29-yard line. Deuce Mateer was able to get a hold of him and really kind of sling him to the ground, but it was a little too late as far as keeping him from getting the first down. Pioneer has been able to control the ball well, just a turnover that put them in a bad position. The Cardinals are able to capitalize. Pitch, tailback to the left, and he's hit and knocked back at about the 35-yard line. So it'll be second down, about 6 yards to go.
25-yard line, second down and 6.
Dominguez was the first player there to meet him. Number 34, George Dominguez, that is. We do have also have Juan Dominguez, number 64, out there. Well, second down, looks like it's more like 5 yards to go. He'll turn, pitch to the tailback to the right. He's inside breaks through, still running through a tackle, finally brought down. And looks like they'll mark it at about the 7-yard line.
Torres advances the ball inside the 10-yard line to the 8, where we first down and goal.
And so it'll be first and goal for Pioneer from there. There's a snap, hand off the tailback. Oh, he's met quickly in the backfield. Derek Deuce Mateer busted through like on a blitz and just popped him in the backfield. He may have fell forward, but he's still a slight loss back to the 9-yard line. So it'll be second down and goal for the Mustangs. Just a fantastic tackle there by Deuce Mateer. Pioneer back at the line. They're still in that tight I formation. Quarterback under center. He'll take the snap, pitches to the tailback. He's running wide to the left, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 6-yard line.
Brought down out of bounds by a host of Cardinals.
Jordan Lujan, Kenny Holmes, Alex Jimenez, Derek Deuce Mateer in on the tackle. Be third down and goal from just outside the 5-yard line. Pioneer trying to tie up the score as the Cardinals lead 8-0 right now. Pioneer stays in their tight I formation. Turn, handoff to the tailback right up the middle. And looks like he is brought down short of the goal line, but it looks like he's only about a yard out. Maybe even less than a yard. So it's going to be fourth and goal from about a yard out. Critical play here as the clock rolls under 9.5 minutes still left in the first half. Tight I formation again. Quarterback keeps it to the left, It looked like he was originally stopped, but pushed from behind, and there is a signal for the touchdown. Quarterback kept it, moved a little bit to the left of center. Pioneer huddles up. They'll try to convert the two-point conversion and try to tie the game. Tie-dye formation, turn, hand to the tailback, and he's in for the tying score. So with 9:09 still left in the first half, it's Pioneer 8, Turpin 8. The Cardinals are set to return the kick. Once again back deep for them, number 23, Trevor Moat. Last kick was high and short by Pioneer.
Back deep for the Cardinals, number 23, Trevor Moat. Lined up in the kicking duties, number 2, Bucko Gray.
Bucko Gray once again handling the kicking duties for the Mustangs. And here's the kick, and this time he kicks it deep. Moat will have a chance, catches it over his shoulder at the 10. He's up to the 20, breaks through one tackle. He's up past the 30, up past the 35, and finally brought down outside the 40-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the 41-yard line. Looked like he might have stepped out of bounds about 5 yards back, not really sure. But that's where they'll mark him down at the 41, so the Cardinals will start right there. As they're already at the line, they'll line up with a split to each side of the formation. Young gets the signal and gets the play in to his teammates. He'll be under, looks like he'll line up in the shotgun with Dominguez to his right and play a stop before we start. And it's a false start on the Cardinals, so it'll be 1st and 15 for them. And they'll be at the 36 instead of the 41. Cardinals change their formation as Brad Alba leaves the field and Jordan Lujan comes back on. He'll line up with a split to each side. Young in the shotgun with Dominguez to his right. Turn, handoff to Dominguez to the left, breaks through a tackle. He's up past the 40, up past midfield, tripped up, and looks like he's got the first down. So the penalty didn't hurt them as he gained about 16 yards on that 1st and 15. They're already in Pioneer territory at the 48-yard line where they'll have 1st and 10. The play clock is running. And so is the game clock as it rolls under 9 minutes still left in the first half. Tied up game at 8 minutes. Hand off to Dominguez to the middle. He cuts back out to the left. And he's got about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Dominguez advances the ball to the 44-yard line, getting 5, 2nd down and 5.
Young under center with a split to each side. Dominguez behind him. He'll turn, fake the handoff, runs back to his left. Boy, he's met quickly. Gained about 2 or 3 yards on the play. He was hit almost as soon as he took off. And it'll be 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for the Cardinals. At about the 42-yard line of Pioneer. Cardinals come to the line with a split to each side. Young back under center with Dominguez behind him. There's a snap, handoff, and Dominguez falls forward. Looks like it's close to the 1st down line. We'll have to see, and they do call it a 1st down. Another 1st down and 10 for the Cardinals. Marked at the 38-yard line. 7.5 minutes still left in the first half. And we've got a referee's timeout. Looks like a player, not sure why, but he had to leave the field for some reason. Well, they've allowed him back on the field now for whatever it was. And so the Cardinals are back at the line, split to each side, shotgun formation. Dominguez to the right of Young. Young will take off to the right, breaks through the initial line, still running, and falls forward just outside the 20-yard line, about the 21-yard line. So it'll be another Cardinal first down, as they have moved the ball from their own 41-yard line after a nice kickoff return by Trevor Moat to the Pioneer 21-yard line. Two splits to the left of the formation. Young under center, Dominguez behind him. There's a snap. Young's going to keep it right up the middle. Breaks through one tackle, and he's brought down at the 15-yard line.
Young advances the ball to the 15-yard line. Will be second down and 2.
Second down and a long 2 or short 3. Cardinals in a tight formation. 2 backs in the backfield. Turn, handoff to Dominguez to the left. He's met in the backfield. Still running, though. And they'll finally call the play dead as his forward progress was stopped. And it looks like it's a little bit of a loss on the play, about a yard. So it'll be third down and about 3 yards to go for the Cardinals. That jumbo formation did not work too well for the Cardinals there, as they'll line up now with 1 split to the right, 1 to the left. Young under center. He'll turn. Handoff to Dominguez to the left. He busts through. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. 16-yard touchdown run by George Dominguez. Didn't look like he was even touched on the play. Young goes to the sideline to get his play call from head coach Justin Hanna. Cardinals in a tight I formation. Kenny Holmes in fullback, Dominguez at tailback. He'll turn the hand to Dominguez to the left. He goes wide, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. So the Cardinals are back on top with 5:50 left in the half. It's Turpin 16, Pioneer 8. Pioneer set to receive the kick. Once again, number 2, Gray. And also number 13, Faw back to receive. It'll be Jordan Lujan, number 6 for the Cardinals, handling the kicking duties. And there's the kick. Nice kick. Caught it about the 10-yard line, and apparently we were not ready for play, maybe. And no, they're calling an offsides or false start on the Cardinals, so they'll have to re-kick from 5 yards further back.
False start is called against the Cardinals. We'll back the ball up to the 30.
Been a long time since I've seen that. So Lujan will tee it up again, this time from the 35 instead of the 40. And there's the kick. This time they kick it a little short. It's still on the ground. Finally picked up at about the 25. Still loose. Back at the 25. It looks like he's going to lose ground on that play. We did have a flag at the end of the play. He was brought down at about the 23-yard line. We'll have to see what the call is on the play.
brought down at the 23-yard line.
And it's going to be a face mask penalty on the Cardinals, so that's going to help Pioneers field position there. And looks like they'll just call it the 5-yard variety, the inadvertent face mask. So it'll be at the 28-yard line for Pioneer, 1st and 10. Pioneer once again lines up in that tight I formation. He'll turn, hand off to the tailback to the left, cuts back into the middle, and he's brought down. Deuce Mateer came out of the pile with the ball, but they'll say it was blown dead already. As it'll be 2nd down. It looks like he will mark him down at about the 32-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down, about 7 yards to go. There's a snap. Hand off to the tailback to the right. He's still breaking through some tackles and falls forward at about the 39-yard line. And they'll call it a 1st down. So another 1st down for the Mustangs. Clock is just under 5 minutes still left in the 1st half. Pioneer looking to try to move down, score another touchdown, and see if they can't tie the game back up with Turpin leading 16-8 over the Mustangs. He'll turn, hand off to the tailback again to the left, breaks through, and just tripped up Jordan Lujan. Probably saved a touchdown there as he fell down at the Turpin 49-yard line. Lujan raced in there from his defensive back position and was able to get just enough of his leg and foot to get him to trip forward. Another 1st and 10 for Pioneer. Line up in a tight formation again, 2 backs in the backfield. Turn, hand off to the tailback again. And still busting through tackles. And he's going to have another 1st down in Turpin territory at about the 36-yard line. Really had contact all the way through that run, but the Cardinals were not able to bring him down until he had already made a 1st down. Pioneer really trying to play the game in a small space in between the tackles. They'll line back up. I formation, turn, hand to the tailback. Oh, he's going to be met in the backfield by number 44, Kenny Holmes. That's going to be a big loss. It looks like they'll mark him down at about the 39-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and about 13 yards to go. Play clock under 10 just as Pioneer gets to the line. I formation. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback's going to run back to his left. He's got a little bit of an opening. He's past the 30-yard line. Brought down from behind, but not till he got a big gain. Deuce Mateer on the tackle on that play. So it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard to go for the Mustangs after facing a 2nd and 13. It handed off to that tailback so many times, the Turpin linebackers bit on it. Quarterback just went back to his left. Good blocks over there and found quite an opening. Turn, hand off the tailback right up the middle. And he's going to have enough for a 1st down as he's inside the 35-yard line up to about the 34.
Result of the play will be a 1st down and 10 Mustangs.
Just inside the ball just placed just inside the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Tight I formation again. He'll turn, pitch to the tailback to the left. And he's going to be brought down after about a 4-yard gain.
By number 44.
Brought down about the 21 by Kenny Holmes. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 for Pioneer. They do run the tailback a lot, but they do bring several players in at that position. And last player that was Ignacio Torres. Looks like he was brought to the field with a little bit of an injury there. Pioneer back at the line. Once again, lining up in that tie-dye formation. Snap, fakes the handoff. He looks over the middle. Tight end's wide open. Was overthrown. Ball got there kind of slow, but Jordan Lujan would have been able to make a play on it because the pass was a little bit of a floater in the air and took a while to get there. He was open earlier in the play, though. So it'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go for Pioneer. Tried to catch the Cardinals by surprise there. Just weren't able to execute. They'll line up with 2 backs lined up to the far left of the backfield. He'll drop back to pass. He's looking to the left. Throws back to his right. Oh! Hit Alex Jimenez of the Cardinals right in the hands, but never had a chance to catch it. Just bounced right off of him. So it's going to be 4th down for Pioneer. And they'll call timeout. So with 1:47 still left in the first half, it's Turpin 16, Pioneer 8. As we mentioned earlier, Turpin is 8-1 overall, 7-1 in district. This season they defeated Tyrone 28-12, then defeated Pond Creek Hunter 56-20. Also won at number 7 Laverne 38-26, then lost to number 8 Sealing 66-64. Won at Kremlin Hillsdale 46-0 by Mercy Rule. Defeated Ringwood 46-0 in the 3rd quarter and won at Merritt 46-0. I'll go over the rest of that. They're back at the line. Quarterback in the shotgun, drops back to pass. He's being pressured, lets it go late. He's got a man open and it's caught inside the 5-yard line at about the 4. And it's going to be another 1st down. So just a huge play on that 4th and 6 for Pioneer as they were able to convert, completing their first pass of the game. So it'll be 1st and goal for the 4-yard line. So as mentioning, Turpin's record also defeated number 10 Wacomas 27-26, and then won at Canton at half 50-0. Turn, handoff to the tailback in the I formation. He bounces off a tackle and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Tailback was hit right away, but just bounced off the tackle and ran on in for the touchdown. Pioneer at the line for the 2-point conversion. Quarterback in the shotgun. A back to each side, close to the line. He'll take off to the left, and he's in. So we're tied all up with 1:27 left in the half. It's 16-16 between Turpin and Pioneer. Cardinals ready to receive the kick. Once again, 1:27 still left in the half. Tie game at 16. Number 23, Trevor Moat back deep again for the Cardinals. They've got their hands team in there with Tight end, quarterback, running back, and a wide receiver up front for the Cardinals. Gray to handle the kicking again, and he'll kick it high. And once again, we have a stoppage of play before. Not sure what happened. Looks like they've just called a timeout for Pioneer. Pioneer is 6-3 on the season, 6-2 in district play. Started out the season by losing to Class C #1 Cherokee 38-30, then defeated Canton 46-0. Won at Pond Creek Hunter 48-36. Defeated number 7 Laverne 48-28. Lost as number 8 Sealing 36-28. Defeated Kremlin Hillsdale 46-6. Won at Ringwood 50-22. Defeated Merritt 40-16 and lost to number 10 Wacomas 54-20. Teams are back on the field after the timeout. Pioneer breaks the huddle. Moat once again back deep for the Cardinals. Last kick was short and high. And this one will be a little short, but Moat will still get to return it to about the 35. He's up past the 40, up past the 45 to the 46-yard line. I actually said he caught about the 35. It was more like the 25. So Cardinals will have good field position with a minute 23 still showing on the clock. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Turpin at the line with 2 splits to the left of the formation. Young in the shotgun with Dominguez to his left. There's a snap. He'll fake the short throw. Throw it deep. And he's got Deuce Mateer out there. And it's knocked away at the last second. Deuce Mateer was kind of leaning back, but number 2, Bucko Gray, was able to make a play and make sure he couldn't make the catch. So it's 2nd down and 10 yards to go for the Cardinals. Ball just past the 45-yard line. They'll set their offense with 2 splits to the right of the formation this time. Players looking at their wrist to get their play call. Pistol formation, Dominguez to the right. And Matt Young will keep to his right, runs. He's up past midfield and knocked out of bounds at about the Pioneer 45-yard line, so the clock will stop after a nice gain. It'll be 3rd down, and they're calling it a 1st down. So he got inside that 45-yard line up to the 44. So with there'll be 1:12 left on the clock. Clock will not start until the ball is snapped since he got out of bounds. Young calls out the play call. Play clock under 10 seconds. Shotgun formation with a split to each side. There's a snap. He'll look to throw. Throws down the right sideline. Ball was overthrown to Deuce Mateer. He really didn't have a chance. Looked like more Pioneer defensive backs were there and had a chance at an interception, but could not get to it either. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. Minute 8 still left in the half. Cardinals line up with 2 splits to the left of the formation this time. Tied in to the right. Young in the pistol formation. Dominguez to his left. Play clock under 3. There's a snap, fakes the short throw. Throws deep down the sideline looking for Lujan. Ball is tipped away and falls incomplete.
Defended broken up on the play by number 13, Papa. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Cardinals. Cardinal passing game so far has been a little bit off. Did have a nice conversion on the long 2-point conversion after the holding penalty. 3 trips to the left of the formation. Young fakes the pass. He's just going to take off and run, but he's going to be brought down. No gain on the play. And so it'll be 4th and 10. Young was slung down pretty hard after the play. They called the Cardinals earlier for a personal foul penalty for a late tackle. Looked like that one wasn't any sooner than the other one earlier, but no flag thrown on that. And we've got a timeout by the Cardinals with 15.5 seconds still left in the first half. It's Turpin 16, Pioneer 16. And we're back out on the field. Once again, it's 4th and 10 for the Cardinals. 15.5 seconds left in the half. They'll line up with 2 splits to the left of the formation. Trevor Moden at tight end on the right formation. Young drops back to pass, throws back into the middle, tried to set up a screen for Derek Dusmatier, but it never came to fruition as 2 Pioneer players were there closer to the ball than Derek, and so the ball is turned over on downs with 12.1 seconds left. They'll come to the line in a tight I formation. Pitch to the tailback to the left. He cuts inside. He's past the 40-yard line into Turpin territory. Brought down at the 35-yard line with 7 seconds still left. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Pioneer trying to hurry without... Clock starts back up again. And they'll clock it quickly. 4.5 seconds still left in the half. Pioneer only had 1 timeout left. I guess they wanted to save that. Looks like they'll probably still have it at half with only 4.5 seconds left. They'll line up with 2 splits to the right of the formation, to the left, quarterback in the shotgun. Quarterback's going to keep it. Well, we've got a flag before the play even starts. And it's a false start. So they'll move the ball back to the 40-yard line.
Mark off of 5 yards and bring the ball back to the 40-yard line. 2nd down 15.
They'll have time for one more play here. Pioneer does call their last timeout.
We have a timeout in play, charged to Pioneer, their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Both teams back on the field for the final play of the first half. Pioneer in the shotgun with 2 splits to each side of the formation. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to keep it on a run up the middle. Still on his feet, and he's brought down just outside the 30. So that's the half. And we've got a tie ball game with Turpin and Pioneer knotted up at 16 at the half. Turpin breaks the huddle. They'll spread out and set up to kick off. And there's the approach by Lujan and the kick. It's going to be caught at about the 20-yard line. Comes to the left, right along the sideline past the 30, and knocked out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. And that's where Pioneer will start this first drive of the second half. Pioneer tied up the game. Had a 4th and long. 4th and about 13 yards to go, and they were able to complete a pass down to the 4-yard line. Able to take it in from there to tie the game up after a 2-point conversion. They'll start this drive. And there's a fake to the tailback. Quarterback keeps it. Looked like nobody really realized he had it up to about the 45-yard line where Jordan Lujan, on the last line of defense there, finally brings him down. So it'll be 2nd down and 2 yards to go for the Mustangs. Back at the line, tight eye formation. He'll turn, hand off to the tailback to the left, cuts back to the middle, still being pushed forward as the linemen get behind him. Still can't bring him down as they're not getting low enough. They're past the 45, kind of look like a rugby scrum. Finally brought down to the ground at about the 42-yard line of the Cardinals. So it'll be another 1st and 10 for Pioneer. Looks like they'll move it back maybe another yard to the 43-yard line. Cardinals have seen that happen to them a lot of the night as they have seems like they've tackled high and been unable to bring guys down. And Pioneer lines up under center, 2 splits to the right. Quarterback's going to keep it up the middle. He's grabbed quickly and looked like George Dominguez had him drug forward for a little bit of a gain. Melcher also with in on the tackle. Looks like he got about 3 yards on the play, up to the just inside the 40-yard line. Maybe 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Clock just under 10.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. I formation, turn, hand to the tailback to the right. Looked like he didn't have a good handle on it, but he did hold on to it. Melcher breaks through, makes the tackle after about a yard, kind of fell forward for about a yard or 2-yard gain on the play. This will be 3rd down and a long 5, short 6 to go. Still in that tight-eye formation. Turns, pitches to the tailback to the left, a little bit wide, and it's Kenny Holmes wrestling him to the ground for a big loss. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Just a huge play by Holmes. And it looks like they are going to give him a little bit of forward progress. Maybe. So it wasn't quite that big of a loss, but it's still going to be 4th down and about 9 yards to go at the 42-yard line. Pioneer at the line, tight formation, 2 backs lined up wide left. Quarterback in the shotgun takes it and gets rid of it just before he's sacked. It's tipped up in the air, intercepted by Derek Dusmatier. He's up at the 40. Still on his feet, dancing around, trying to get up to midfield, and he's brought down at about the 49-yard line. Ball was originally tipped. Didn't see who it was who had tipped it, but tipped it right to Dusmatier, who took off with it, took it back to the 49-yard line, and the Cardinals will look to capitalize on that turnover. .8:42 still left in the 3rd quarter. Turpin 1st and 10 from about their own 49-yard line. They'll line up with a split to each side. Clock is under 6 seconds left. Man in motion. He'll turn, handoff to Alex Jimenez, and boy, he is wrapped up in the backfield right away. Pioneer defense busted right through the line immediately. Big loss. Looks like a loss of about 3.5 yards, so we'll call it 2nd down and 13. Turpin back at the line, a split to each side. Young under center with Dominguez behind him. He'll turn, fake the handoff, take off to the... jumbo package. They'll line up in that tight I formation. As they bring in a couple more linemen on the line, put Kenny Holmes in at fullback. They'll pitch it to the left. Dominguez cuts back inside. He's fighting forward, and it does not look like he made it. 2-point conversion is no good. That could be big in this game, as that's the first 2-point conversion that was not converted. So with 7:21 still left in the third quarter, it's Turpin 22, Pioneer 16. Gray and Fawfaw once again back deep for the Pioneer Mustangs. Cardinals break their huddle, spread out for the kickoff. Jordan Lujan once again handling the kicking duties. And there's the kick. High floater. Caught. Runs to the left. He's up past the 30-yard line. He'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 33. Cesar Castillo, number 16, on the tackle.
Ball was taken out of bounds at the 33-yard line, where we first down and 10.
Pioneer offense comes to the line of scrimmage again in that tight I formation. They've been able to control the clock quite a bit. Turnovers have cost them dearly, though. Tailback to the right, he's out wide, still on his feet, and knocked out of bounds in Turpin territory at about the 48-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Mustangs. Pioneers ran between the tackles the majority of the game, but found some space out wide that time. Back at the line of scrimmage, turn, hand off to the tailback to the wide to the left this time, and he's going to be cut down by Jordan Lujan after a small gain of about a yard, maybe two, as they'll mark him down at the 46-yard line. We'll call it 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8 yards to go for Pioneer. Pioneer comes to the line in the shotgun, back to his left, 2 splits to the right. There's a snap. He'll drop back to pass. He's being pressured, trying to run a screen, and it was blown up quickly. It looked like Kenny Holmes stepped in front of the running back. Saul Melcher put quick pressure on the quarterback, and they were not able to get it set up. Just a nice defensive play by the Cardinals there, so that'll set up 3rd and 8. 6:22 still left in the third quarter. Pioneer trying to answer the Cardinals' score, a 50-yard touchdown run by George Dominguez. Back at the line, tight I formation again. Overload to the left. They'll run the tailback back there. He has to cut back inside. Kenny Holmes did a great job. Still on his feet, though. Finally knocked out of bounds. He's going to be close to a first down. Looked like they should have had him back, but tackling high, and it's going to be another Pioneer first down. Cardinals have really struggled with that tonight. Pioneers made quite a few yards after the first contact, and most of that because Turpin has tackled awfully high tonight around the shoulder pads too much of the time, and they're able to break through tackles and get big yards. They'll line up in a tight formation again. They'll hand off the tailback. Cardinals break through the line, but he avoids them and is able to make a decent amount of yards. Looks like about 4 yards on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go as he's inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. They'll line up in another tight formation. Quarterback's in the shotgun, 2 backs to his left. High snap, he gets it though. Goes left, finally knocked down. Up at about the 27-yard line. And it's going to be enough for a first down. So another Pioneer first down as they continue to move the ball well. Cardinals getting penetration on several plays, but not able to finish off the play with a tackle. And Pioneer turning those plays into decent gains and continuing to move the sticks, also continuing to keep the Cardinals on defense and run the clock, something they want to do. There's turn, hand to the tailback to the right, still on his feet, falls forward to about the 20-yard line. Looks like he'll be just short of it, but a nice first down gain. So it'll be second down, 3 yards to go.
Hammock will advance the ball to the 21-yard line, where it'll be second down and 2.
This time Pioneer will split one player out to his left, and then he comes back in. He'll line up in the tight formation. Shotgun with a back to each side. Quarterback's going to keep it to the left. Bust through. He's up past the 15 and brought down at the 12-yard line. So it'll be another Mustang first down.
Papa will advance the ball inside the 15-yard line to the 12, where it's first down and 10.
Back at the line in the shotgun formation again with the back to each side. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's going to be stopped this time. Alex Jimenez and Derek Dusmatier kind of came around the outside linebackers, and they were able to stop him for not much of a gain. Looks like he did make it up to about the 10-yard line. So we'll call that second down, about 8 yards to go. Tight I formation this time for Pioneer. There's a snap, pitch to the tailback to the left, outruns one tackler, and Kenny Holmes does catch up with him, but he's up to about the 6-yard line.
Gray will advance the ball to the 7-yard line.
So it'll be third down and a long 5 for Pioneer. Once again, Cardinals getting penetration but not able to finish off the play when they do. Pioneer able to find an opening and get positive yards even in those situations. Quarterback under center again. Turn, handoff, fakes the handoff. Tailback rolls out to right, and he can't escape the tackle. And he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. That was number 32, Saul Melcher, with just a great tackle, probably a touchdown saving tackle. So it's going to be fourth and 5 from about the 7-yard line. Crucial play in the game with the Cardinals leading Pioneer 22-16. Pioneer with a chance to tie the game, and if they were to score, even go for 2 to tie, to take the lead. We've got a stoppage on the field. Not sure what's going on, but trying to get them to reset the clock. And so they move the clock from 2:10 to 2:17. Once again, fourth and 5 yards to go from the 7-yard line. They'll line up in the shotgun, 2 backs to the left of the formation. They're heavy that way. He'll run left. Got to cut back a little bit. Gets outside, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. Also have a Cardinal on the field hurt. George Dominguez, a key part of the Cardinals offense and defense, but looks like he's up and on his feet and okay. So Pioneer will come to the line for this 2-point conversion, trying to take their first lead of the game, as we are knotted up at 22 right now. Shotgun formation. They're tight with a back to each side. He'll take the snap, run right up the middle. Derek Dusmatier there to meet him. Also one other Cardinal. And it's Saul Melcher in on that tackle. So we're still tied at 22 apiece with 2:12 left in the third quarter. Trevor Moat back deep for the Cardinals. Gray handling the kicking duties again for Pioneer. Will it be one of his high short ones or a deep kick? There it is. It's a high short kick. Ball's on the ground as Alba dropped it. And he was able to pick it up and down it at the 24-yard line. Cardinals will take over 1st and 10 right there. Alba had to back up to try to catch that one. Went through his hands, but was safely able to cover it. Cardinals at the line. They've got one split to each side. Young will come under center with Dominguez behind him. Deuce Mateer in motion. They'll hand it off to Deuce Mateer around the left, and he's grabbed and brought down just inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line. Looked like a gain of about 4 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 6. They'll line up again with a split on each side of the formation as they each move to the opposite side. Shotgun formation for Young with Dominguez to his right. Hands off to Dominguez, bounces off a tackle. He's up being dragging a defender up past the 35 to about the 36-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for the Cardinals.
Dominguez will take the ball to the 35-yard line, 1st down and 10, Cardinals.
Ball marked just past the 35-yard line. Clock rolls under 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. We're all tied up at 22. 2 splits to the left of the formation. Young under center. Deuce Mateer in motion. Fakes the handoff to Dominguez. Young keeps it, and he's quickly wrapped up after about a yard gain.
Short gain on the play brings up 2nd down and 9.
It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Cardinals. Young's been held in check for the most part this evening. Had a couple nice gains, but Pioneer seems to have really focused on making sure he didn't get the big gains tonight. He's in the shotgun this time. He'll keep it and go to the right. Cuts back into the middle, and he's up past the 45 and drags some defenders up to about the 48-yard line for a nice gain.
Right down by 33, Rouse.
So it'll be 3rd down. 2 yards to go. Clock under a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Pioneer races several defenders onto the substitutes onto the field. A split to each side. Young under center. Turn, hand off to Dominguez right up the middle. He's up past the 45. And we're going to have to see where they mark it, whether it's a 1st down or not. Yes, they are calling for the sticks to move forward. And it is another 1st down as they'll mark him down at the 46-yard line. Looked like he got an awfully good spot there. Refs have been eager to move the game on. It seems like haven't brought the sticks out for any plays. 2 splits to the right, Young under center. He'll turn, fake the handoff, go back to his left, but the play was blown dead. And it's a false start on the Cardinals, so they'll be in a 1st and 15 situation. Now, the last time they were, the very next play, George Dominguez ran for a 50-yard touchdown.
Result of the penalty will back the ball up 5 yards, 1st down and 15, with the ball spotted just over the 40-yard line.
Play clock is reset. Cardinals will get in position with 1 split to each side. Young under center with Dominguez behind him again. Deuce Mateer in motion. They'll hand it off to Deuce Mateer to the right. He breaks through 1 tackle, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds after only about a yard gain. So it's going to be 2nd down and about 14 yards to go for the Cardinals. As the clock is actually stopped as he was ran out of bounds with 1 second left in the 3rd quarter. So we'll have one more play before we head to the final period. Once again, both of these teams with Wacomus's loss last night, headed to the playoffs. What position they finish in the district still up for decision. Deuce Mateer in motion again. Fakes the handoff. Young is caught from behind and thrown for a big loss. Inside the 35-yard line. Blitz. Just a great blitz by the Mustangs. Busted through there untouched. It's going to be third and very long for the Cardinals. So at the end of the third quarter, we're all knotted up at 22 between Turpin and Pioneer. We'll be back for the fourth quarter. And so we begin the fourth quarter. Cardinals in a difficult spot, tied 22 apiece, but facing a 3rd and 21 from their own 25-yard line. They've gone nowhere but backwards on this drive. 2 splits to the left. There's a snap. He'll drop back to pass. Looking down the left field side, over the middle, and Jordan Lujan, it's incomplete. He kind of had to turn into a defender. Passing game has just not been there for the Cardinals tonight, and they'll have to line up to punt. Young has gotten off several very good punts. He's pinned Pioneer back inside the 10 twice. Probably won't be able to do it this time since they'll be kicking from their own 35. I said 25 earlier, but 35-yard line. And there's a nice booming kick over the returnman's head, but he does catch it at about the 20-yard line. He's up to the 25. Great tackle brought down by Alex Jimenez, and there's a flag on the play. Looks like it may be a block in the back on Pioneer. We'll have to wait and see. And it is. It's a block in the back, which is going to move them back even further.
Illegal block in the back is the ball against the Mustangs.
That'll move them back inside their 20-yard line to their 18-yard line.
A result of the penalty will move the ball back to the 18-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10.
So 1st and 10 for Pioneer from there. They scored on their last drive. Still trying to take their first lead of the game. Quarterback will keep it. Oh, and Saul Melcher breaks through, brings him down back at the 15-yard line. Just a great play by Melcher as he read that play as they had lined up once again in the shotgun with 2 backs loaded to the far right side of the backfield. He read the play, got out wide, and got up the field and made the tackle on the quarterback. Be second down at about 15 yards to go. 2nd and 14, we'll say. Back in that same formation, 2 backs to the far left of the formation. Quarterback will keep it right up the middle. He busts through. He's up past the 30, up past the 40, cuts back. He's up past midfield, and he's finally brought down from behind by Alex Jimenez inside the Turpin 45-yard line, and looks like they'll mark him down at about the 41-yard line. Huge play there after a 2nd and 14 situation. Just a big gain. Turpin overplayed. Kind of set them up with that last play. 2 backs to the far right where they had run so many times. He counter-stepped to that side and then headed back to the left and found an opening. They're in a tight I formation this time. Turn, hand to the tailback. He'll run wide to the right. He's up. Bulls over Brad Alba, who's able to bring him down, but not till he's inside the 30-yard line at about the 28 for another Pioneer first down. Pioneer threatening to score again and take their first lead of the game. Back at the line. Tie-dye formation again. Turn, handoff to the tailback, goes wide to the right. Melcher gets a hold of him and brings him down. Several other Cardinals grabbed him, but a nice play once again by Melcher, not letting him get wide. And they'll mark him down. Mark him down right at the 25-yard line. Be second down, about 7 yards to go. Pioneer breaks the huddle, comes to the line. Same tight eye formation. Using those big bodies they've got. Fakes the handoff to the tailback. Quarterback rolls out to right. Finds a man open. Cuts inside the tackler. Dives forward. He's in for the touchdown. And Pioneer takes their first lead of the game on that 25-yard touchdown pass.
Reception. With the conversion pending, the Mustangs take the lead 28-22.
Pioneer come into the line for the 2-point conversion. Tight eye formation again. They'll turn, hand off the tailback. He's hit immediately. He's not going to get there. Just about the entire Cardinal defense there to stop him. So with 9:46 left in the fourth quarter, Cardinals are facing their first deficit as Pioneer takes the lead 28-22. Back deep for the Cardinals. Their up men are Brad Alba, Jordan Lujan, and Alex Jimenez. On the front line, Matt Young, Kenny Holmes, Derek Dusmatier, and George Dominguez. Pioneer spreads out for the kickoff. And there's the kick, and it's a short hopper. Ball still on the ground. Alex Jimenez falls on it. And so the Cardinals will take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Number 15, Jimenez, with the recovery. The ball will be spotted at the 38-yard line. Cardinals 1st down and 10.
So Turpin will come to the line and get their play signal from the side. They'll line up with one split to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Fake the pitch, try to hand off inside. They could not quite see what happened there, but they did hand it off to Alex Jimenez, who got about 5 yards on the play.
Getting about 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5.
Jimenez was lined up as a halfback, but a little bit lined up wide behind the end, and he'll line up there again. One split to that right again. A turn and pitch to George Dominguez to the right. He busts through. He's into Pioneer territory, and he's going to be brought down after a 1st down, though, at about the 42-yard line.
43-yard line, 1st down and 10.
They'll make that about the 43. Cardinals quickly to the line again. They'll line up this time with 2 splits to the left of the formation. Play call from the sideline. Young under center with Dominguez behind him. Quick throw out to Jimenez. tries to cut back inside, breaks loose from the first tackler, but only able to get back up to about the 40-yard line. So it'll be second down and about 8 yards to go for the first down. 8.5 minutes still left in the game. Cardinals trailing for the first time. Game's been tied up at all three different scores at 8, 16, and 22, but Pioneers' last score put them ahead. Young fakes the handoff, runs straight up the middle. One man to get him, and he was able to drag him down, but not till he had a first down. If he doesn't get him, Young scores on that play. It'll be at about the 31-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Moving quickly, having a lot more success on this drive than they did on their last one where they just went backwards. There's a snap, pitch to Dominguez to the left, but he's hitting the backfield. Good penetration back there by the defensive end. And he's going to be brought down at about the 35-yard line. That's going to be a loss of right at 5 yards, so it's going to be second down and 15 as they mark it just inside the 35-yard line. Turpin will again line up with two splits to the left of the formation. Dominguez will line up in the backfield, but he'll line up wide. Pistol formation with Young. There's a snap. He's going to look to pass, trying to fight off a tackler, still on his feet, and he's going to finally be brought down for a big loss. Back at about the 47-yard line. Oh, it's going to be third and very long for the Cardinals. Players trying to get Young to calm down a little bit. He's very frustrated after that play. Third down and 27 yards to go for the Cardinals. Clock under 7 minutes left to play. Be about 6.5 when they snap the ball on this play. Play clock under 5. And get it off. There's a snap. Looking to throw again. Has to scramble away. He's going to take off and run, but he's caught from behind after just a short gain of a few yards. And it's going to be 4th and long for the Cardinals again. At the 43-yard line is where they'll mark him down. We'll call it 4th and 24. And we've got a timeout on the field with 6:03 left in the game. It's Turpin 22, Pioneer 28. So we'll line back up. It's 4th and 24 for the Cardinals. Looks like they'll line up in a punt formation. Young back to punt. And he'll hold on to it and then finally lets it go. He was looking to see if they rushed in. And it looks like the ball's going to bounce. Oh, and they're able to stop it. Alex Jimenez stops it at about the 2-yard line. And so Pioneer is going to take over right there, deep in their own territory. The punt has been a definite weapon for the Cardinals as they pinned Pioneer once again deep in their own territory. But with 5:56 left in the game, the Cardinals are going to have to do something they haven't done very well in this second half, which is stop the Pioneer offense. They'll turn, hand off the tailback. He goes left. He's up past the 5-yard line to the 6. It'll be second down at about 6 yards to go. Looks like they'll mark him instead at about the 7, so we'll call that second down and 5. Pioneer in that tight I formation, quarterback keeper to left. He busts up through, and he's going to have a first down as he almost to the, right down about the 13-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down. Clock will be under 5 minutes to play before this next play is snapped, as Pioneer will huddle up and try to use as much clock as they can as well, holding a 6-point lead. They'll line up in that tight I formation again. Quarterback takes, hands off to the tailback to the left. Still moving forward, falls forward past the 20-yard line to about the 21, 22. And that's going to give them a second down and short. About a yard to go, so it'll be second down and 1. Once again, they'll use as much clock as possible. Clock under 4.5 minutes left. Turpin's going to have to get a stop here if they're going to have a chance to tie this game up. And there's a big, they're going to tackle him for a loss here. Alex Jimenez with the initial tackle. Kenny Holmes there to help out as well. So that'll move them back to about the 20-yard line. So it'll be third down and a long 3 as the clock rolls under 4 minutes to play. Crucial set of downs here for the Cardinals if they want a chance to win this game and host a first-round playoff game. This game is coming down to that. Whoever wins it's going to get to host. Tailback busts through, and he's got a first down. Up past the 25. Looks like they'll mark him down at about the 28-yard line. 3.5 minutes to play.
With the ball spotted on the 28-yard line.
Pioneer back at the line, I formation. Turn, hand to the tailback. He tries to bounce it out to the right. Jimenez there to make the tackle. We do have a flag on the play. And we've got a holding call on Pioneer. So that's going to march them back about 10 yards. So it'll still be first down, but it's going to be 1st and 20. Pioneer's been able to get out of long distance plays and recover from tackles for loss and even some penalties and still get first downs and keep drives moving. Clock rolls under 3 minutes to play. Turpin was still 2 timeouts they could call, but they've got to get a stop on a couple plays before they even use one. There's a snap, pitch wide to the tailback, and they're going to be able to knock him out of bounds and stop the clock that way. Knocked out of bounds by George Dominguez. Trevor Moat over there as well on the play. And so it'll be second down. Clock stops at 2:42 left. Ball marked at the 24-yard line. 2nd and 16 yards to go. Pioneer breaks the huddle. They're back at the line in that tight I formation, trying to run out this clock with a 6-point lead. They'll pitch to the wide side of the field to the left, the tailback, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds again, stopping the clock with 2:36. And so it'll be third down. Pioneer helping out the Cardinals a little bit, running wide on 2 separate plays, being able to knock them out of bounds. Turpin would have either had to call 2 timeouts, or the clock would probably be under 1.5 minutes at this point. It's going to be third down and 11. This is a crucial stop that the Cardinals need to get right here. Quarterback in the shotgun, 2 backs to his right. He's going to run wide to that power side, and he's going to be brought down. And late flag.
There is a penalty flag down on the play.
And face mask penalty on 3rd and long. Did not call a personal foul. So it's just a 5-yarder. Chain markers are moving and they didn't reach a first down there.
5-yard face mask is the call against the Cardinals.
Chain markers moved too quickly, thought it was the 15-yard, but it's still going to be 3rd down and a couple of yards to go. Clock is running again, under 2.5 minutes to play. Third and 2 yards to go. Quarterback keeps it to the left, and he stopped. It's close. Kenny Holmes met him in the hole there, turned him back. And it looks like they're going to mark him a little short of the first down. And they're going to bring out the sticks. 2:04 left on the clock. Pioneer leading Turpin 28-22. And they're marking him just short. Looks like it's just a couple inches short. So we're going to see a 4th down here. Pioneer in their own territory with 2:04 left in the game. Clock is now rolling again. They'll line up. They're going to go for it, even though they're on their own territory, but they've been able to move the ball here. Maybe try to draw the Cardinals off sides. No, it's quarterback keeper. He stopped right at the line. Doesn't look like he... Not sure if he got it or not. Didn't have to get hardly anything. They'll mark it, and they'll call it a first down. Huge play. Remember, Pioneer was facing a 1st and 20. Just a huge inadvertent face mask penalty in that drive, too, that gave them a free 5 yards. And Turpin will have to call their first of 2 timeouts left with 1:42 left in the game. It's Pioneer 28, Turpin 22. Did we have a 5th down? We did. I think we did. I think we had a 5th down. And then it was an after, yeah. That was a 5th down play. So it's Pioneer first down with 1:42 left in the game. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They'll snap the ball, hand to the tailback. And he's going to be tackled just past the 40-yard line. Cardinals will call another timeout. Once again, this game will decide who hosts the playoff game and who has to go on the road on the first round. Whoever wins this game is going to finish 2nd in the district. Pioneer defeated Laverne earlier in the season. Both teams have defeated Laverne, so the winner will definitely finish in 2nd place. Not sure, as I don't have the videotape here, but I think on that last drive that Pioneer converted, it looked like they got a 5th down that allowed them to get that first down. It should have been 4th down earlier, and we'll have to look back at the tape later on and see. Second down and 7 for Pioneer. And they get the Cardinals to jump. Free 5 yards for them. And it was Juan Dominguez with the jump. Right. The hard part about that is Dominguez lines up right over the ball. So it's going to be 2nd and short for Pioneer, trying to seal this game off as Turpin has called both of their timeouts, cannot stop the clock anymore. There's a snap, handoff to tailback, and he's got the first down. And that's going to be the game. Turpin will not be able to stop the clock as it's at 1:28, and as soon as they set the chains for first down, the clock will restart. And Pioneer will be able to line up in victory formation and just take a knee several plays. Line up in the I formation. Quarterback hands off the tailback. He's still on his feet, dives forward. Kind of surprised they didn't just take a knee there as the clock rolls under a minute, taking a chance of possible fumble. But was able to keep from doing that, and they'll line up for another play as they break the huddle with less than 15 seconds left on the play clock. And they'll line up in the victory formation. They'll take the knee, and that's the game. So the Pioneer Mustangs have pulled up a small upset over the Turpin Cardinals in this very tough district and have earned a 2nd place finish in a home playoff game next week. Turpin falls to 8-2. They'll still be in the playoffs, but they'll have to go on the road for the first week. As the final seconds tick off the clock, we do say thank you once again for joining us on the PTCI Roadshow. And we'll see you again next time.